Good night and welcome to another live broadcast here at the station. And we want to thank you guys for um, joining us this evening. Let me first say it's been a very, very um, revealing day here in Trinidad and Tobago. Very trying day. And I'm still getting set here to put some things in place to make sure that we get a feed on Facebook, not Facebook, on um, get the show really, really started. All right. Um, there is some tremendous, scary issues, problems that are going on in. You don't want to get in you don't want to hear what I have to say tonight, or you probably want to hear what I have to say tonight. It is horrible and is going to hit us. Right now, on every news channel in Port of Spain, Trinidad, is a conversation going on concerning um, concerning COVID. We were ranked today fifth. We were ranked fifth. We were ranked fifth today in the world of probably the worst places to be right now. And that is not with as much as we could deal with concerning this conversation about COVID. And tonight it has gotten worse. And myself here in the studio, I'm very, very concerned for my country. And I'm very concerned for the people of my country. Um, we were doing very well, and all of a sudden. But before I get into it, let me say thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for taking time out to listen to what we have to say tonight again. Our radio stations are live globally, 10 of them. And we are on Facebook as well as we are on YouTube and my church channel. So we are broadcasting on all platforms. All platforms. Why? Because we want to get the word out. We have to get the word out. We have no choice but to stop everything that we're doing and get the word out. You ever lost for words? You ever reached a point that you don't know what to say to people again? We have been doing this broadcast about since last week. We have been delving into this conversation concerning COVID. I have been on Synergy having conversations about safety and protocols and all that stuff, along with my friend Mr. Harvey Boris. And we have been pushing and pushing and talking and hoping that somewhere between my little show on Trinidad and Tobago television and internationally, looking at what's happening, the trend that's happening around the world, I would have thought that we would have taken stock, we would have taken a second look, curbing our ways, curbing how we do, how we live, how we congregate. We've been hearing from the government of Trinidad and Tobago. Even when the numbers was good, they were on television every single day, giving us stacks, giving us information, warning us, telling us how to do, how to live. Been warning institutions, churches, cinemas, businesses, retail, factories, you name it, taxis, transportation, you name it. Every sector. I have not listened to everything, but I've listened to a lot of a lot of it. And I've heard pleas over and over and over and over for us to consider or reconsider how we live so that we can put a curve, put a stop to the trend that's happening here in Trinidad and Tobago. A small population of just 1.5 million people. Fun loving country, maybe too much of fun loving, but last couple of days the Prime Minister came forward and spoke his heart out, had his professional team surrounding him, and made great presentations on what is going on and showing us step by step, meticulously, what is going on behind the scenes, what the numbers look like, what our capacity in our hospitals seem like. First time he did the lockdown, he told us that it's going to lock down churches, cinemas, businesses, all of that stuff. They told us that we had 10 days to get it right. We had 10 days to see if we can put a halt, make a dent, make a difference in the numbers reclining instead of skyrocketing. Instead of people cooperating, I heard complaints, I heard blame, I heard everything negative. Sector, law association, taxi drivers. I heard from churches. People found very creative ways to continue doing what they did. During Easter, congregate, sell, continue business as usual. you name it. And over the weekend, we saw an escalation of people in different places on the avenue, in the savannah, Eddie Hart, KFC. These people were rushing like there were no tomorrow, like we had the last set of food, and if you don't get it, you're gonna die. You had to buy chicken because, listen, if we don't get chicken, we're gonna die. And we did our thing. Prime Minister came back after all of that, looking on, hearing the reports, and he decided, well, gonna have to be a little more stringent on his approach. And so he came back, went through the whole explanation again of what's going down in the country, making references to what's happening on the outside in India. I personally can tell you what's happening in England because I was there. And I'm home in Trinidad and I can't go back. I choose not to go back even if I could, because it was safer for me to be here because we were doing so well at one point in time. And so the Prime Minister outlined a series of changes that we were supposed to adapt to in the whole with the idea of doing everything the government can, hopefully with our cooperation, to make with a 6 to 6 curfew, 6 in the morning to 6 p.m. in the evening. And then I heard he said from 6 to 8, and I said, wow, he's still trying to work with us. Because for me, 6 to 6 makes sense. 6 to 8. Okay. The small man and his business, all the roadside vendors were locked down. All, went through meticulously again, step by step, on how we should do this. With the hope that by the next day or pretty soon, we will get those numbers going in the opposite direction. 10 days. And if the numbers continue on the rise as we have seen, projecting 240, 200 and something, 300 every day, with an average of about 2 to 4 deaths per day, we would reach a position that would not be good for any one of us, because the health system, or the parallel health system as they call it, would be overwhelmed, and we would find ourselves as citizens of Trinidad and Tobago in a very, very precarious position. Well, I'm thinking in my head, well, we will cooperate and we will work along with those in authority and try to change this. Lo and behold, I got up this morning and I went out to check some things out, get my stuff together to come back to the show, to see, to check, movement. If went to the grocery to get some stuff. The grocery surprisingly wasn't bad. I felt in the grocery that I went in, I'm not going to call the name, that was reasonable. People were wearing the mask and sanitizing and washing their hands. They were keeping the distance. And the grocery wasn't overcrowded. I felt, all right, this feels good. It looks like people are working. Some people are really trying to work with it. We are doing the best that we can. Go to the grocery, pick up your vital supplies. If you have to get drugs, just in case, you know, emergency situation, your little Vicks, your little Cafanol or Panadol, little things in case somebody fell ill at home, pick up your vitamins and stuff, get home. Get your water, whatever it is. Buy some more masks, you know, excuse my throat. So, driving around, getting back to my destination because I don't want to be out. I really don't want to be out at all. Pass through Sawo. It's not looking bad. It's not overcrowded. Look like less people that time of the day than would usually be out there because the Crazy is a place of movements. Everybody saw a vendor selling coconut, you name it, breadfruit, everything. So I'm saying, I thought retail was closed in broad daylight, you know. So I started asking questions like, what's going on? I thought retail is supposed to be closed. Why is, as far as I know, he has a store. And he has a retail store selling a lot of plastic stuff and baskets and cups and mugs, a lot of plastic stuff. But to the front of the store, he's lined off for some time now. Fruits and vegetables and all that kind of stuff, market stuff. But I know, because I knew before he had put that in front there, when you walk in the store, it's a retail store selling baskets and mugs and everything plastics and strainers and all that kind of stuff. So my question in my mind was, what's all this about? And I'm sure police jeeps and police officers probably walking through the Crazy. Don't tell me if I can drive through the Crazy and notice that because it's very glaring. How is it this person is able to get away with that? And you're going to tell me no police officer didn't see that, right? Okay. So, coming down the street, passed through Maraval to get home. I saw this restaurant that I like. And I have some close friends that they really love that restaurant because they do some amazing, magnificent food. No, I'm just telling you what I saw. I don't know who's licensed under what to get away with what. So I passed by, and what I saw was this restaurant that I know. It's a really nice restaurant, and most of you know about it if you like Italian food and if you know Maraval at all. You can't miss the restaurant. That restaurant is the bomb. That restaurant have it going on. They have, to me, one of the best foods in Trinidad and Tobago. I'm telling you, I ain't calling on it. And what I saw as I drove past bothered me more than when I was in the crazy. Because in my mind, I'm saying, this is a restaurant. I know it's a restaurant. I've been there several times. The food's a little expensive, but every now and again, you feel like you want to eat something different and tasty. And I would go there and I would have a little something. You know, but it was disturbing to see this section when you go in a restaurant that have some things that is packaged and it's on shelves like you can just buy it like a grocery. All right, that's a few of the items. So if you want some soups that are already pre-cooked, they have that there nicely packaged and all that, sandwiches and different things. You can just buy those things and just move out. So don't know if that's why they got away. Don't know what they license under. If it's under grocery and restaurant or whatever it is. Because groceries are licensed to open and sell food. Okay, so if they license under grocery, then technicality they could get away with it. But don't know if there are special exemptions to do what they're doing. But there were people outside of that restaurant lined up all the way around from the front door of the restaurant till you turn the corner going down, and lots of cars in the parking lot. And I'm telling a friend of mine in the car, did you just see that? Is there something that I am missing? And who gives this restaurant the authority? I heard it. And unless this restaurant have special exemptions, or if they're licensed under a grocery, that they can still open, I know something was wrong. Everybody noticed it. Hundreds and thousands of people that pass by there. You can't miss it. Notice it. I didn't see anybody come and shut it down. It went on, I'm sure, till late this evening, as far as I know. And people were buying their nice little Italian foods to take home. That disturbed me, and it's still disturbing me, and I'm really upset. I'm highly upset about that. And I'm upset. I don't understand all of it. I don't know the ins and outs of it. I let me know, hey Clarence, you need to drop that. Those people will have a special exam. They were given the authority to open their restaurant today and any day. And or they license under grocery, and because they license under grocery, they can open under grocery. One thing I didn't notice, everybody that was in the line was following the rules. They had on their mask. They had their little distance from each other, but the restaurant was open. And that disturbed me. And it still is. You want to call the show? 1-919-500-7820. You want to call the show? 1-919-500-7820. Or you can call us on 1-856-3709. Let me say that again, because I really want somebody to call me and correct me. Or text me. 1-678-856-3709. Call me and tell me something if you notice that if a situation was I'm missing something, let me know. 1-919-500-7820 WhatsApp numbers. So don't try to call the numbers directly because you're going to be 919-500-7820 09. And you want to give measure of what happened when I got home. Blow the lid off of everything that happened to me today. I thought the day was going pretty kind of decent. And then this happened. And when I come back, right? But it got worse. Hold on.
Turn it up! You're listening to WCAN Radio with your host, Clarence Green. Clarence Green.
I wanna see you dance. Oh, these ain't loyal.
And we're promoting, and you're like the screen behind me, you can get that as well to advertise your business. So if you want to advertise your business while we're broadcasting, give us a plan. So, other thing I wanted to, a friend of mine's have, someone has a car to sell, and I have been asked to promote it and assist them in selling the car. So I'm going to push it. Engine is superb. Everything's been done over. If you purchase this car, you get a good car. Trust me, you get a really good car. The body is really brand new. The body has been specially imported to, everything's, look, the car is selling for $65,000. And I wouldn't be here trying to sell the car if I didn't think it's a good car. I'll give you the details of the car, the mileage, if you want to go see it, you want to check it out. Give me a call. 1-868-397-5961. Ask for Clarence. And then I'll take your information, we'd hook up, and then we try to go and take a visit to the car. And if you like it, you could talk to the owner yourself. The same price she asked me to sell it for, that's the price I just give you, $65,000. What I can tell you is a really good deal. Really, really good deal. And so, yeah. Really, really nice. So, here's the thing. Let me share with you what happened to me when I got home. I got home, had my little groceries, put them away. Start sending out some information for my CDs that I put it together to send it in a download so they can receive it on their end and pay for it online. Simple. Trying to follow the rules, trying to cooperate with the government and keep myself quiet and safe and still try to do some level of business but not mixing with people. I'm pausing because I'm about to tell you something. And got a text from somebody on WhatsApp, good friend of mine's. You know, people send me this information because they know I'm gonna start this conversation tonight, and I'm always trying to gather information. So, a friend of mine sent me a text. Check this out. So, let me share it with you. So I opened the text, and it says, "Check this out. Real madness." Let me tell you when that came through. I want to be specific. That came through at around 5:16, exactly at 5:16 p.m. this evening. I said, okay, let me check it out. Here's what it says. I'm trying to show you, but it's not working. So I'm gonna have to read it for you. Here's what it says. COVID-19 impact for TNT. The Geary Group, UE, and Ministry of Health. Okay? Percentage tested positive. Positive cases 12,105. 399 tested positive in the last 24 hours. So which means from last night to today, we had an increase in the numbers. 399 people were tested positive. So the numbers went up as of yesterday to almost 400 people today. Now ain't that some? That is no cause for celebration. That's just cause to just get real quiet. Deaths. 189 people so far. 4 deaths in the last 24 hours. That's in red. Discharged and recovered people, 8,892. That is total in as far as since this COVID thing started. And 60 people in the last 24 hours. 60. So, let me take a break and Yeah, it looks a little better. Thanks for that observation. Somebody who is looking at the show, uh, give me a heads up on that. So yeah, it looks a little better right now. See, I'm an obedient guy. Okay. So let me let you know we're broadcasting on 10 radio stations, Facebook, YouTube, and my church channel all at the same time. So if you want to get an idea of all of that or easy access to all of what I just said there, all in one place, because we have different websites, you can go to the governing website, the main website, ry.org. If you go to icanministry.org, all of the links to everything that I just told you, a lot of them are there. You're going to see me on the church website. The church website is carrying us live. Facebook is carrying us live. YouTube is carrying us live. The 10 radio stations, WCAN Radio, Ican Talks, WADS, Radio Live Ventures 97.2 in Sierra Leone, The Refuge, all of these stations are carrying us live. Good News, all of those 10 stations are carrying us live. Same thing. And they were saying 99, 400 with 4 deaths. And we are at 7 more days. It's not looking good. And this person is really scared. Very, very scared. And they should be. I'm not saying to panic, but they are scared. And I really believe that. And it just spelled chaos. But also from where I'm sitting, I said, I serve a God that doesn't deal with fear. Because I want you to understand that regardless of what going on in this country, or around the world, God is in control. Believe it or not. As much as things are looking as if it's getting out of hand, and it's a hard pill to swallow in the midst of um, a pandemic. It's a hard pill to swallow. You know, people talk about we got to walk a totally different walk now, and this time of our world, this time of what's happening here in Trinidad and Tobago, it's all been pointed out in the Word of God. It says perilous times would come upon us. We've been reading this since we were little boys and girls, and people don't believe the Bible because they think it's a myth. It's so simple to understand. But we're living in those perilous times when pestilences and all kind of stuff will come upon us. People think people who go to church either crazy or something. And maybe you need some preaching. A lot of people are quaking in their boots, shaking in their pants, nervous about death, nervous about leaving this life. Oh, this wonderful life. We all gonna die. Think about death. What I'm saying is just trust the Lord. Get your life in order. Should in case death fall upon us, your life will be right with Christ. And when judgment time comes, you'll be able to face your Father. Because it's a time of judgment coming. And that time, and they're not ready to face the Maker. It happened to me. It happened to me years ago when I had a heart attack and I was scared because when you get a heart attack, it's a big thing. It's close to death. Years ago, kind of by the same medical people here in Trinidad and Tobago tell me I didn't have no heart problems. Well, and I don't carnival and I don't party and all that stuff. So a little trip in the country, somewhere between Maracas and Blanchisseuse to a little camp. But I noticed that when I was walking, and you understand me, I believe God was with me because if something had happened to me at that distance in the countryside, I wouldn't be here today. And that was the same day because that was Carnival Sunday, early morning. Took a drive up. I wasn't driving, some friends were. But when I came out of the car, 300 feet, 300 meters. I can't remember. Like you're running 100 miles, 100 meters, about 300 of that from the road. Every time I made a few steps, I had to stop. I had a bag in my hand and it felt heavy. And my friends noticed me and said, "What's going on with you?" I said, "I don't know, I'm just tired." Every time I walk, it was tiring and I had to stop and breathe. Not knowing what was happening. Everybody was like, "I don't know what's going on with him." I wasn't getting no pain or anything like that. I was just tired every few steps. Came back home. Wasn't getting no chest pain or anything. And came back home, relaxed, had something to eat, took my medication, retired to bed. Well, it's a good thing I was by people that night. It's a good thing. I know of this some chest pains, but came on, got off the bed, started feeling uncomfortable. Like, what's this? Put on my clothes, get off the bed, sat down in the living room. Pain, excruciating pain now. Tell my friends, this different. This one feels different. Take me to the hospital. Yeah, I guess you put me last night. And I'm not about to send you home and take the risk of sending you home. So you're going to be with us here for the rest of the week. Death, none of us are ready. Everybody gets scared. And this pandemic, this COVID situation that is seemingly, it don't know seemingly again, it's out of control in this country. A lot of us are ready for it. We ain't ready to die. Because half of us know we're not living right. There's an old saying that says we have nothing to fear. Except we forget the way the Lord has led us in the past. And But if we don't have an experience with God, because the young people couldn't get it, and then all kind of different things we heard, and now it's young and old and anybody, people who had issues of heart and all that was mobility or whatever they call it, like co-mobility or something. So all these fancy words. Friends in India are telling me, and what my friends in the UK were telling me, are we too late on this? Are we too? Are we months late? Should have been shut down before Easter, just like had that privilege to go anywhere and go to the beaches, because people are people, and Trini like to fet and party, and boy we did. And now we are going to pay a price for it. Now you could talk all you want to talk about the Venezuelans and blame somebody else for your behavior, but we have a part to play in this as well. And that's the problem that we have. We always look at somebody else to blame. We went to the beach, we party, we played, so that we can also, that's the numbers we have. And then the information I got is that the behavioral bad in Tobago. All rules were off. The law association say if you're having your party at your house, say, hey, nobody can touch you. I don't care how much law you know right now. When the health system go broke, let me see which attorney coming to fix you, or to stand up for you and tell the police this and that. That's the situation we're facing. And I want only to share this live with people, because I might not be one of the big names out there that have, and I'm talking serious stuff. Take a page about it, stay away from people. It ain't worth it. We're going to pay a price for it. And people in semi-panic mode in Trinidad, because now the reality of what they saw in India is about to go down here, with great possibility that it might just go down that road. And every man jack is open to this disease. Play with this stuff, but we did. And people expected these numbers to go down real quick, because we stay home for a couple of days. We're coming back to that. I ain't no medical doctor, but I ain't foolish. And I'm going to show you something. It makes sense when you see it, when you hear it. Because this thing is not going to just start dropping just because for the last 2 days we decided, or some of us decided, to cooperate with the government. Trinidad and Tobago mashing up at the bottom. Oh mercy, people giving me talk online about my experience with this heart thing. Let me tell you this something, yeah? You want to live, don't play with your life. Because it's not a nice experience to hear that you had a heart attack and your mind you tell yourself, tick tock, tick tock. There's a great possibility you could go down in a certain way. So just saw something on Facebook. Thank you, my dear friend, Miss Michelle, showing us that. Let me read it. Good night, Dr. Green. We were ranked 5th in the world since yesterday. God help us all. Anyway, if you want to call and join the conversation, we could join, because this is madness. Trinidad is in a bad place. We moved from being almost number one or number 2 last year when our Prime Minister and the Trinidad model of how to deal with COVID was so well endorsed and admired by the world who was struggling with COVID. And now we are one of the most unsafe places to live on the earth, on the planet. 500 7820 or 1678 856 3709. Let's talk about this when we come back. Talk about why the numbers are still spiraling out of control and we locked down and the magic ain't happening. Let's talk about that. Let's pick sense out of nonsense and see if what I'm saying or my version of this make any logical sense. And people expect magic to happen and it ain't happening and it will never happen. No magic is going. On the screen you would see um, some advertising scrolling at the top there. That is different products that we have, different businesses that you can purchase or services that we offer, and I'll explain some of those to you before I get back in the conversation. All right, just gotta make some money somehow, right? So we are under the name Ican Ministries, and Ican Ministry is the ministry that governs everything else we do. But our registered name in Trinidad and Tobago, I'm putting things in perspective so you guys could know. I hope you wouldn't be confused. I'm not trying to confuse people, I'm trying to put things in perspective so people would understand why so much things been going on within our legitimate legal name in Trinidad and Tobago is Bijou, Bijou. We've been a registered entity in Trinidad and Tobago for about 40 years or so, 40 some years, maybe 42, somewhere thereabout, right? And that's the legal name under which we do things if we have to conduct business. So, Bijou, right? We've been around for a long time. When we started Bijou, we did not have all of this um, in mind, but things evolve and concepts change, and we've included everything else under that until we make some legal changes. All right. So first and foremost is about preaching the word of God. We preach, we teach, we share the gospel, and we focus on Jesus Christ and teaching you about Jesus Christ. That's the main thing about what we do. We have different segments. One of them, which I am 7:30, and we've been doing that for 3 years now. We've been having a fantastic time going through different changes and stuff, but we invite you to join with us every Monday night. And if you go to, or if you want to get more information on that, give us a call, 1-868-397-5961, or call any one of the WhatsApp numbers down below. You'll get information on how to get into prayer time. All right. So prayer time is so to 9 o'clock. Might run a little 10 minutes, but that's about it. All right. We have all the radio station. WCAN radio is the main radio station in the whole thing. WCAN. All right. And it's a mixture of my name, Clarence Archibald, and it's the network. All right. So you have CAN. That's when I was first exposed to this. And then when I came to Trinidad, came back home to live, I got further training or more training locally to understand what's happening in my country. And so I was trained with counter trafficking, which is part of national security. I've been certified with that to get my training. I know my stuff. All right. So sometimes I get an opportunity to travel, outside of Trinidad to lecture, to teach, to share, and even to train. I've been training different things. I do a lot of training. He terrorism, on the spot shooter, um, active shooter, um, lots and lots of safety areas I've been trained in. I've done some training in it, and I continue to upgrade myself. I have a PhD, an honorary degree that I was given for the work that I continue to do. I have my pastoral license, so I can do the whole 9 years what pastors do. I don't wear it on my sleeve to be looking like a pastor, like the people trying to say you don't look like a pastor and all that. You in your jeans and a top. I don't have to do that. I just want the Spirit of God to dwell in me and direct me, and it had nothing to do with dressing up and wearing a tie and all that. Wherever God want me to serve in whatever capacity, I just humble enough to just do that. I don't have to walk around people calling me Dr. Green and all that. I don't have to go to all that. But the education is there, the training is there, the expertise is there, and so I try to fit it in. Coming back home, well, a couple of years ago, um, I'm a very creative person because I used to be a designer. If you met my daughter, you'd know how to stop it sometimes. It can become very frustrating. But we were not getting as much seminars as we wanted to. We go around training people in churches and businesses, and sometimes people don't want to pay, and you got to make a living. And when I looked at it, I felt, well, how do I continue doing what I'm doing at the same time and make money? Because when you're outside, people will pay you and reward you handsomely for doing seminars, and for, sometimes you go to a church and you preach and they still give you something. In Trinidad and in the Caribbean is different. And so I've had to make some adjustment in my approach to um, how I do things and try to fit in and work along with the culture here. Sometimes it's annoying, but well. So I came up with a concept of I wanted to do some products because I don't like the idea of walking around and asking people for money, donations. So my thing was put myself in a win-win situation where I would get what I want and people would get what I want. If I offer you something and you're paying for it and you like it, then you would receive what you want and I would get what I want, which is the money. And part of that money would go towards my ministry, and part of it will go towards me making a living to live. We gotta eat. So we came up with a water concept of producing the water and call it Ican water. But we didn't want to produce regular water, even though we're going to get to that point at some point in time. We started producing an infused water after lots of consultation and experiments and all of that. But when you drink it, nice and cold, it's really refreshing. I'm making it, and every time I drink it, I'm surprised at the taste. So it's an infused water. So what you get is a tinge of ginger, not like ginger beer. Some people are like it's not strong enough. It's not ginger beer, it's water. But you get a flavor, a tinge, a small percentage of water. And you have a couple flavors of ginger, you have lemon lime, and you have a mixed and I can infuse water. And because of what I do, which is focus on the human trafficking element and the domestic violence and stuff like that, on every bottle, what you have written is I can stop human trafficking, or I can um, stop domestic violence. Those are the two concepts, and we decided to go with that message, and I call it a seminar in a bottle, because when we're not doing seminars, we're on the road pushing the water, but at the same time, we get the message out with every bottle of water we sell. human trafficking. So you grab the concept. So we have the regular bottles like what you would see sell around, the 500 ml, and you have the 350 ml, the executive premium water, which is like the water in a bottle that, and I have them here, but I can't show it right now, where you have the water and it's a premium water like Pereira's water. So you have the flavors, the ginger, the lemon lime ginger, and the brown one is ginger. The lemon lime is in the transparent bottle, in a nice shaped bottle, just like Pereira's, and with the same label that gives the same message. You would love it. Um, at first, I was going to name it canned water, CAN, and then a good friend of mine is Michelle, and I have to give Michelle the I can't remember what word I want to use, but I have to give you Michelle props for this, right? Because she said, "Class, why don't you name it Ican?" So the whole idea of the Ican is really Michelle's idea. I just had it as can. So Michelle said, "Why don't you call it Ican?" And I said, "Wow!" It was like a shock to me. I never think about it because the whole concept of "I can do all things through Christ who strengthened me" was the main text of what I wanted to push as well. And I didn't really put the "I can" because that's my main Bible text within my ministry. If you go on my website, you would realize that text is the main text I use on my even on my website. So when she said "I can," I was like, "Wow, woo!" Something just lit up, and there was born the "I can" infused label, and the "I can stop human trafficking," or "I can stop domestic violence." So when you see us around with our water, we want you to support us and purchase the water because that is how we make our money to support our ministry and to do our projects. And a little bit goes for living and dealing with the expenses of the ministry. And we are very proud of it, and we want you to support us. The numbers are take the numbers at the bottom of the screen and give us a but there's a lot of things on the website that is really good for you. We also have a CD that when we have great now, if it's good enough and it's good content, we edit it, put it together, and then we put it on the market to sell. So we have the CD called but is amazed with the content, and it's one of my best work. I'm really, really proud of this. And I wish that every man or a young man they know because it's really powerful and the information is amazing. On the other side, for women, it's an education for you as well. But this for $60. The water sells for we sell the water in a six pack. So the bigger version, we sell it single. That's the premium one. That's $20 in a six pack, and that six pack sells for $36. And then the 350 ml, we sell it in a six pack as well. And I can't calculate it right now, but that sells for $350 each. So 350 by six, about $21, right? So that's that. The CD. We have different CDs. We have paternity fraud. We have the domestic violence educational one. That's powerful. Describes domestic violence from a legal point. It teaches you how to recognize it in your own life and in the lives of other people or the lives of your partner. And it's really powerful. Really, really powerful. That one doesn't have an audio. It's just a presentation. And we're trying to work on an audio. People like to hear a voice, but it's really powerful. And you can go to our website, WCAN Radio, and you can make the purchase. You have different, you can buy one of these things or the CDs. They have different levels of sponsorship. If you peruse our website, WCAN Radio, but the big website houses all of them, which is icanministry.org. You can go there and anything you want to find, we have shopping stores you could think about, we've partnered with them to a particular organization. And so when you go on those stores and you shop for shoes or whatever it is, anything you feel you want to shop for, when you start on our website and you click on their banner, on that banner, and you begin to shop, when you shop and you get your shoes or your accessories or your watch or your sunglasses or sheets and beddings and whatever it is for your home, appliances, everything. When you shop there, we get commissions from your shopping. See, the whole idea is not to ask you for literal money, even though we have systems in place for that if somebody wants to donate. There are people who donate every month, and some of them I don't even know. People from as far as Finland will send money, US money, every month. They like the vision, they like the concept, and they buy into it. And they sent us, one lady made a commitment to a year to send a certain amount of money every month, and it pops up in their account every month. And she does that. But for people who don't want to do that, or people who can't afford that, and so look, I want to help, like somebody today said, listen, and this is a very high ranking person, I'm not going to call the name. So look, I want to support. I really like what you're doing. I want to support you. And they took 10 CDs today. In Tobago took 2. And so within a short space of time, between yesterday and today, we sold about 15 CDs at $60 each. So praise God for that. So if you want to buy something, if you want to order something, remember, when you order, it's like a love offering. It's like a love gift you're giving to us, and what we give to you in return is something that's amazing, that will help you, is healthy for you, or the educational content is really, really good for you. And I'm just trying to explain to you, in a nutshell, all these different departments between one bigger than life that is ready. People are not ready for it, so I don't push it. There are departments that are hidden. There are things that I want to do that are hidden, but the time is not right for it because I'm only one person and as much as I can do. If those of you have drank the water before or listened to the CD, big it up. Tell people, we'll give you a sample so people, the more CDs we sell, the more water we sell, the more the products that people buy through the website, we are able to do more, and we want to do more. This conversation that I'm having, that they can get information from what I'm giving, but at the end of the day, um, we still have to make some money, So I just wanted you guys to know that. We have, before I get back to the conversation, which I haven't forgotten, I just have to explain this because some people think it's confusing to them. It's not confusing. I'm not all over this. It's just as I'm one person and all these departments I can't handle by myself, but God is going to. All right. We have a couple shows that we're going to start doing next week, and I'm going to. Concept is the same concept we're discussing here. We want to discuss local thing. It doesn't have to be COVID. We want to discuss all sort of subject matter, local things. We want to fit everything into Trinidad and Tobago. We want to address a lot of issues in Trinidad and Tobago. And so far we came up with an idea and 3 target groups. The first target groups, we want to get everybody who's been a bar, who like to drink. And it might seem kind of far off to you guys because like people who just drink. But trust me, bar people are some of the most intelligent people. So we're not encouraging the drinking, but we want to, because there's so much of them and they can't do anything right now, we want to show them how to have a good time and have good conversations. So we tell them, look, we have a system that accommodates 1,000 people. That has nothing to do with the radio station and Facebook and YouTube and the church channel. But we have 1,000 people could hold in a conference. So you have 1,000 people. And I was out for your glass of wine. That's fine. You're not offending me. I'm not a drinker. I'm not encouraging drinking. But bring it because that's what you do. But if you're going to bring your beer and you're going to bring your stuff, make a donation of the cost of the beer. If you could buy a beer, you could give us, if a beer is $10, give us $10 too. And we're gonna have a great time for. And the same thing for we're gonna target barbershops. And I already have one barbershop that says, "Yep, I'm ready for it." They can't go out right now, and people who go to barbershops, which is basically every man goes to a barbershop. And the other one is hairdressing salons. Ladies who go to the hairdressing salons to do whatever. Your nails, your toes, your hair, your eyelashes, we're targeting that audience. And we're going to have conversations, not necessarily just about the beauty thing and all that, but it just makes sense to talk to people on in categories and target a particular audience and see what comes out of it and see where we can help and get a consensus, and maybe we may be able to you know be able to make a dent in suggestions that people have. It's always good to hear the idea of the concept of Ican Ministries as it ties itself into so many different departments and what we do. It's not easy to broadcast on all these channels at the same time as one person asked me today, but it's easy for me because I've been doing it a long time. I'm at Ground Central right now, and the microphone might be a little soft, but hopefully you're all getting me and seeing and hearing me clearly. And we're doing the best. I'm doing the best that I can because it's just me here in the studio. All right. So let's get back to the conversation. Look at the numbers down below if you want to call us about anything, if you want to get information about anything, if you want to purchase a CD, not for you, but for some young man to hear, purchase it and give it away. We'll be glad. We have the downloadable type, and now that we can't really mix and do business with people, and now that all the equipment that most of the people here have, they don't have a CD drive in the computers and the laptops and stuff. We have the downloadable version, and we will get it to you through your email. All right. So let's get back to the conversation that we were having. We have about 15 minutes to wrap up, and 15 minutes can be well spent. So we had the curfew or the lockdown, and we have the steady rise going on still. Well, when you have a level of breaking the law as we broke the law as a nation, and we congregate and mixed and broke all the rules, didn't wear masks, lime, party, drink. And when you have Justin Tobago, have it until 14 days later. It doesn't have a COVID mark on your chest or your face or your back. You look normal. You mightn't even be showing any symptoms. You ain't sneezing or runny nose, whatever. Just normal. But when you have 50,000 people alone, and that's just 50,000 TT people, Trinidad people, we're talking about the rest of people who live in Tobago. So let's just say you had 100,000 people on the beaches of Tobago, liming, having a good time during Easter. When you've had probably the same amount of people in Trinidad doing the same thing at all the nice beaches we have here. Maracas, Las Cuevas, Blanchisses, Toco, Manzanilla, down south, you name it. When you've had people hanging out in the bars and breaking the rules that we've been hearing, they mightn't even want to go on the beach. They hanging out to the bars and breaking the rules. And all of us know that because it's been on all the shows, TV, the situation with the bars. Operating as if we don't have COVID. If you've had 50% of the nation doing what the hell they want for that long, and then 3 days ago, the Prime Minister comes and says, look, we're going to have to do this. We don't want to do it, but we have to tighten the belts and lock this place down. How on earth do you expect that to change overnight? Because the damage is already done. We party, we do this, we mix, we break all the rules, we do everything wrong. And 14 days later, the whole place started to start. Plus the borders, right? Plus the borders. We don't live out the borders. The borders, people breaking and coming into the borders and doing it. Plus expatriates coming home. People want to come home. All right, so they're coming home, no symptoms. 14 days later, they might show up. Some may have it. They put them in isolation. People at home supposed to be grocery and doing this and figure they ain't affecting nobody. One COVID person could mess up our whole nation. So when you have the level of indisciplined citizens in Trinidad and Tobago doing what they did recently over a period of time, you expect 3 days of lockdown to make any change? It can't happen. 3 days of lockdown can't change it. So the numbers are not going to go down automatically like, wow, we locked down in 3 days, zoom, 50% gone. This going to go up and up and up, and maybe the system has, praying God it doesn't, maybe the health system has to be to the place where it get to the place where they don't want it to be, because the damage has already been done for a while, for months. If you want to narrow it down for Easter, since Easter. And then it have to level off. And because we're in lockdown, if we stay in lockdown and we decide to really follow all the rules that are in place, stay home, sanitize, wash your hands, social distancing, wear your mask, eat right, because that's a whole nother subject. If we start doing that, then and only then we may start seeing it diving back down, slowly going back down, and hopefully get back to where we could be a little normal. But it's going to cost us. Place like nice and suited up, and all you know, to heal everybody out of a wheelchair and all kind of stuff. All you can do, all this wishy-washy business, all you be doing, making people feel you're also spiritual and touching people's head and they're falling down and all that kind of stuff. All you're doing. Ram now. What's wrong now? Why you only come forward and heal somebody? Why you all come forward and heal the sick? Why you all don't come forward and pray for this nation? All you quiet, all you frightened. Why you all don't come out now and really show people that you're a real man of God and you could pray for this nation? You could heal people and bring them some level of comfort. All ain't saying nothing. You know why? Because it's not in church. You're not on the podium in church where you could perform. Now you gotta roll up your sleeves, put on your little jeans or in a little short pants and pray from your home. Well, you can't perform now. This had to get real. This is where the rubber hit the road. So why are you looking for pastors to say, listen, let me come on the show, let me just get together and pray. Let me talk about this. All this magic, all this want to play, all they performing in these churches. Now, where you all now? All the quiet, all the disappointing people. People seeing your true colors now. We don't have no tithes and offering in it. I must say it like it is. Ain't got no tithes and offering coming now. So where all the miracle? Where's the Jesus that you all say you all know? And the power of God in you all to come out now and pray for this nation like you never prayed before. We need you all now. The nation need you all. So you all should come out and pray. Come out and comfort people. Read the scripture for them. Give them encouragement. I've been straight. And you all know I'm talking truth. So anybody that's listening to this video, pass it on to them pastors on them. If you're not a pastor, pass it on. And if you don't want to hear anything that I say before, come to this point and let the pastors know that. Call the pastors and tell the pastors, I say, time to pray. Time to comfort people. Time to heal people. Time to show people the power of God still exists. Tell them that God is still in control of this nation and the health of this nation. Pray for your prime minister. Pray for the leaders. Pray for wisdom. Pray for know-how. Pray for the nurses. Pray for everybody. Why you pray for everybody? Pray. Get real. Instead of all this show. Because you're in a pulpit for 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and you can carry on and scream and bawl and all that kind of stuff. I can feel the spirit here now and all that kind of stuff. Pray now. Pray now that real situation and real chaos and real madness going to face this country. And we need you all now, and all you're going into hiding. Once you're in having church, as you know it, you know all you're hiding. Okay? It's 9:56 and it's about time for me to end. I'm tired talking for 2 hours. I ain't getting a call from nobody, but the message going out. And I pray to God that what I've said tonight, somebody listen and somebody gets some hope, somebody understand and get some sense. People, get real. People, take out your Bible and read. People, pull your family and read the Bible. People, pull your family and pray. If the pastors don't want to pay for you, pray for your family. People, eat right. People, do whatever is right. People, get some good rest. People, stop congregating. People, listen to me. Do what's right. Work along with the ministers. Work along with the prime minister. Work along with your neighbors. Advise your neighbors. Advise your children. Let the community do right. If we ain't do this, all of we gonna die. Drink water. Get a little sunlight. Even though sunlight don't kill COVID. Don't anybody fall all with that. But take a little sunlight. Eat right. Drink a little olive oil like me with some lemon in it. You know. Do what we need to do. Everything that we need to do. To save your family and to save your community, to save your district, to save your city, to save our nation. Let's come together and start fighting. The PNM against the UNC and the UNC against this one and that one. Come on. No time for that foolishness. All right? So let's put it together. And I hope that what I've said here tonight really it resonates with somebody. I ain't trying to talk in no fine language tonight, and I can do all that, I can speak like, eloquent. We can do that. It's not about eloquence right now. It's about getting a message over to you. And I pray to God that you get it. Get it. Live it. Be it. Be an example. Show your children how to live. Keep it simple. Don't buy expensive food. Eat simple foods. Simple, healthy foods. Cook home. Economize. The Lord, for this is right. Husbands, love your wife. Cooperate. Stop with our woman outside. Forget she. Waste of time. Help cook home. Clean. Do some work in the yard. Can't go nowhere. Have a good time. Laugh, talk, play some games, watch TV together, pray together, lead your family. Come on, man. Let's do it. I'm telling you.